All right, so how you guys feeling today? I'm feeling well. So let's look at Amwell's IPO. Stay tuned. What's going on, you guys and girls? My name is Jose. Welcome back to Rico Suave Investing. If you want to learn about the stock market, investing, financial freedom, then you came to the right place. So make sure you click the like button and subscribe. Also, forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. So today we're going to continue the IPO train, baby. I know you guys like it, you know, all my guys in Discord. And we're going to look at another company that's going to be IPOing next week. And of course, I'm talking about Amwell. If you don't know what Amwell is, don't worry about it. By the end of this video, you're going to know everything you need to know. But before we begin, I want to give a shout out to my patrons. These people right here are my superheroes. They get a shout out on all of my videos, access to my new Discord, free access to my marketing masterclass, stock market news, portfolio updates throughout the week, and more. You can also find their links to their channels in my description. I'm on YouTube a couple times a week, but I'm on Patron and Discord every single day. So if you don't want to miss anything, the link to my Patreon is going to be in the description. Only $1 per month. Now back to the video. Yes, join my Patreon because I'm going to be starting an IPO, strictly IPO portfolio next week on Robinhood. And if you want access to it, make sure you join my Patreon. All right, so we got a lot to cover, so let's get started. According to NASDAQ.com, you can see that Amwell filed their S-1 paperwork back on August 24th. According to MarketWatch calendar IPO, Amwell is going to be price range anywhere from $14 to $16 per share. We're looking at 35 million shares, and it's going to be the week of the September 14, which I'm very excited about. That's next week. All right, so you know me, I like to look at their website, see what the company is all about. If you don't know what Amwell is, Amwell stands for American Well, and it's a telecommunications / medicine solutions program and software and service that is offered to all, medical practitioners out there. So let's look at the website real quick and see what we can learn. Telehealth is the future, of course. Now, due to what's going on in the world now, a lot of doctors are switching to a little bit of a more telecommunications medium to protect them and their patients. Right here, it says, welcome Align Telehealth for physicians, National COVID-19 program, New York, and all that. So let's see if we can scroll down, look at products and services. Right here, platform overview. It says right here, over 80 million members have Amwell as a covered benefit. 50 plus health plan partners, including Blue Plan, United Healthcare, and Cigna. I'm sure you guys heard about these companies before. It's used in over 2,000 hospitals and health system partners, including Cleveland Clinic, Avera Health, Northwell, and all that. And 40,000 clients using Amwell. So very cool, very popular, of course. And here's a few photos on how it works. You have your nurse protection on one side, looking at a computer screen, and you got your patient on the other. Full spectrum of telehealth communications. Request a memo here. Improve care delivery and telehealth solutions. That's pretty cool. It's all done virtually nowadays, guys. Design around you so you can also personalize for your needs and depending on your health conditions and all that. Now what I want to do is I want to show you guys a video on telehealth solutions and communication so you understand a little bit better how it works.
In every way you look at it, AW9 redefines the marketplace of how patients and physicians interact. AW9 is the arrival of telehealth into the hands of the people that are doing and receiving healthcare. It's about where they are, not where we are.
We see a marketplace that is really thinking far beyond the dreams that we had many, many years ago, where they can deliver different kinds of services that are not possible using traditional brick and mortar kinds of workflows and interactions. That's not only exciting, I think it's game-changing.
We are now enabling telehealth to be everywhere that patients are. The multi-way video function allows patients and providers to bring in additional participants to their telehealth visit. What that means is that a patient might invite another family member to a care visit. Doctors can bring in other healthcare providers as part of the care team. I could have a video translator who is actually translating the dialogue between the doctor and the patient. And then the telemed tablet allows for remote examination to happen more easily using our new peripheral devices. We've incorporated a derm cam, an otoscope, a stethoscope, as well as a PTZ camera that allows for remote examination. Using the mobile SDK, partners can literally embed telehealth into their own solution and their own offering, allowing patients to engage in a remote video consult from the app that they're already using. So all of these features are really allowing for new delivery models to take place, and we're very excited about all of them.
We are absolutely thrilled with AW9. The capabilities that it brings to the table will just change the game with the amount of improvement we're going to see.
It isn't about the software. It's about allowing patients and physicians to interact in new ways that take advantage of technology. That understanding is what sets American Well apart.
It's more than the technology. It's how do you deploy it? How do you use it? How do you make it practical? How do you have it create value for you and patients and members and consumers?
This is about truly seeing right in front of your eyes a massive modernization of an entire industry by a single technology that's called telehealth, and that should give you goosebumps.
How cool is that? Just having your physician or your doctor right there at the palm of your hand, right on your iPad or your iPhone. That is really cool. So I'm very excited about this technology. And but of course, we're here to look at their IPO. Are they profitable? How much money they're making? Are people actually using the services and all that? So let's get right into that, because I know that's what you guys are here for, IPO information, right? So let's look at that. All right, so according to fearshealthcare.com, Amwell files to go public with a $100 million boost from Google. Now, if you know Google is behind this company, then you know this is legit. So let's read a little bit more, see what else we can find out. Now, Google is investing $100 million into the telehealth company as a part of the stock purchase agreement, according to the S-1 filing. Amwell will issue the tech giant $100 million of its Class C common stock shares. So what Google is doing is actually investing into this company, okay? And of course, you know, as an investor, Google want to see them succeed. The telehealth company also announced on Monday that a strategic partnership with Google Cloud. As part of the deal, Amwell selected Google Cloud as its preferred global cloud partner, platform partner, and will migrate the video performance capabilities into Google's cloud's platform for both new and existing customers. So, you know, it's like a marriage made in heaven. You know, you got the Google Cloud, and then you got the telehealth communications giant that is Amwell. During the second quarter of 2020, Amwell saw average monthly visit volumes and average monthly active providers delivering healthcare on its platform increase over 300 to 400% respectively compared to the first quarter in 2020, according to the filings that they did with the SEC. So this is a company that is growing immensely, you know, their customers. Now, during the second quarter of 2020, 2.2 million telehealth visits were performed by Amwell platform, with a 77% of these visits performed by health systems owner providers. A lot of people are doing their communications and visits to the doctors and nurses, practitioners and all that, you know, via teleconferencing. Visits in April 2020 were as high as 40,000 per day versus approximately only 2,000 visits per day in April of 2019. So last year in April, they only had about 2,900 visits per day, okay? And we're looking at 40,000 per day on April of this year. The company launched in 2006, works with 55 health plans, and supports over 36,000 employers and collectively represent more than 80 million covered lives, as well as 150 of the nation's largest health systems, encompassing more than 2,000 hospitals, according to the S-1 filing. Just a huge, gigantic company. To date, Amwell says it has powered over 5.6 million telehealth visits to its clients, including 2.9 million in the last 6 months ended in June 30, 2020. Amwell reported revenue of $114 million in 2018 and grew 31% to $149 million in 2019. However, the company had significant losses, reporting net loss of $52 million in 2018 and winded down to $88 million in 2019. So they do have some losses. Might be a good, reason why they're going IPO. So according to the S1, the company plans to expand to adjacent markets such as Medicare and Medicaid, government clients, clinical partnerships such as existing collaboration with Cleveland Clinic, and international markets. If they can get the people that are on Medicare and Medicaid to use their services, and most of them are a little elderly, but nowadays, they are warming up to the idea because they want to protect themselves from COVID-19. So if they can get those customers or members to join their telecommunications system, Amwell 9, that will be a game changer for the company.
Joining us now is the CEO of one of America's biggest telemedicine companies, American Well's Roy Schoenberg. Roy, thanks for being with us today. When we talk about telemedicine, demand for your services, what does this type of product actually enable in a time of medical emergency like we're seeing now?
Yeah, well, the simple way to look at it is that telemedicine allows patients and physicians to use, some of these devices to get in front of each other. And the reality is that whenever you have the opportunity to deliver healthcare over technology and viruses can't travel that way, you have an opportunity to get a lot of good healthcare to a lot of people with much lower risk. And I think this is happening very, very fast and growingly. The other piece of the puzzle is that if the virus is going to be primarily located as an infectious disease in a location, a part of the country like the West Coast, we have a lot of healthcare that is untapped on the other side of the country that can be mobilized through this technology to replenish areas where healthcare is going to be really, really overwhelmed. And I think the last thing that a lot of people are kind of starting to think about is the virus, unfortunately, does discriminate by age. Elder population, elder Americans are much more likely to have worse effects of the virus. If we can use telehealth to allow that population to gradually get more and more of the healthcare that they need from their home, rather than to show up inside a hospital or clinic where a lot of bad things are, a lot of other people, a lot of other viruses, we can probably reduce their exposure to potentially contracting the virus.
Yeah, I mean, key points. It sounds good. But just a basic question here, what can actually be done? How effective is it to be able to assess somebody's health condition over video?
Yeah, so I think it really depends on whether you are on the worried well side of the public that doesn't know if they got the disease, or whether people who are sick and trying to figure out whether it's the virus or not, or a regular pneumonia, or what we growingly hear about in the last couple of days, people in isolation, people who need to be at home knowing that they have the virus and we're just trying to contain it. The different protocols around that are actually very well refined by the CDC, and that's their business. I don't want to kind of intrude on that. But one thing that is very, very clear is that in every one of the cases where you don't use telehealth, you're forcing people to aggregate inside care facilities where whether they do or don't have the virus are either going to create overwhelming of the system or going to infect other people. So using technology that is 100% safe, viruses won't travel over it, has a lot of merit in this kind of circumstance.
If it starts to, then we got real problems. I wonder, is there a disconnect between the types of patients, as you said, the elderly, who are more often a victim of this, but are they less likely to adopt this kind of technology? Is there some asymmetry there?
Well, we actually, this was something that everybody thought about maybe 5-10 years ago, that telehealth is only for the young tech savvy, and the reality is that it really isn't. Especially growingly now that a lot of physicians are telling their patients that they're going to follow up with them through technology rather than require them to do the lengthy trips to the hospital. We actually see kind of an equalization of the use of telehealth. And especially if, when you talk to elderly patients who say you can use that to get in front of a physician without the risk of actually contracting the virus, I actually think you're going to see a lot of use for that in the elder populations.
All right, I agree, absolutely. And the shares of rival Teladoc are up 88%. So Teladoc right here, which stands for Teledoctor, right? It's one of the competitors that Amwell's going to be going head to head with, okay? But you know what? There's plenty of room for everybody, So healthcare, we're never going to do without. We always going to need healthcare. There's two things that are guaranteed in this world is death and taxes, right? And you always going to need some kind of a healthcare eventually. So now, if you want to know which banks are backing up their IPO, Amwell's IPO, Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs groups are serving as the lead underwriters for the IPO. People familiar with the matters told CNBC. So it's got two powerful banks behind them. I think Goldman Sachs is the biggest bank right now in America. Amwell reported the cash will be used for working capital to boost research and development and to expand its sales team. If approved, its share will be listed on the New York Stock Exchange. We know it's already approved under AMWL, so I'm very excited, guys. The total revenue for the last 6 months ended on June 30. We're looking at $122 million. That's an increase of 77% compared to 2019. All right, so I give you guys a lot of information about Amwell today. We talked about what the company is, what it does, when it's going to IPO, at what price, what's the ticker symbol. We even saw an interview with the CEO. So I'm feeling good about Amwell. What do you guys think, though? Let me know in the comments below. I'm going to be picking up a few shares next week. Again, a reminder, make sure that you join my Patron because I'm going to be sharing this IPO with you guys on there. All right, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and as always, make sure you take care of yourselves. And I'll see you soon.
I bring up the pain, Rico Suave's the main. I make the market rain like acid rain. An investing channel you ever know, ya. I take your girl, your house, your money, and leave you broke, son.